Hello and welcome to an update video on the Apricot Xi, which I did a video on a while ago, just doing a demonstration talking a bit about it. And for those of you who don't know, it's basically a 1984, early 80s British computer. And yeah, so if you're interested to know more, there is that video you can watch. But in the video I did mention I couldn't get the floppy drives to work. So these floppy drives are early 80s Sony micro floppy drives, and we've got a double-sided one here and a single-sided one. And the problem with these drives, or at least a very common problem, is that the DC motor, which you can sort of see there, doesn't work, so the floppy won't spin. And it seems to be a common problem with these, so both of these drives have that issue. Now, someone did post a comment saying it could be some of the wire that's come undone underneath the sort of drum assembly there. I did check and it seems to all be intact, so that doesn't seem to be the issue. But luckily, I made a purchase on eBay. In fact, I'll show you the purchase in a moment. It's a bunch of Apricot Portable spare parts. But in that lot, I did get this drive, which presumably would have been for the Apricot Portable, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a OAD32W92. Now the W stands for, well, indicates that it's a double-sided drive. And the 92, I believe, is the mechanism on the top here, which is different to the one in this drive. It's got a different mech. So yeah, just a different mech, but the rest of it is the same. So what I did, well, first of all, this drive doesn't work. As you can see, it's got a bad head. It's been ripped off. So, and that's also another issue with these drives, is that the double-sided drives, the glue tends to fail and they'll come off a little bit, and then when you put a disc in, it'll rip the head off. But yeah, this drive has a bad head, but the DC motor works fine. I took it. I tried this drive on this computer just to see if the motor would spin, and it did. So I transplanted the motor into this, and now I have a working double-sided floppy drive for the Apricot Xi. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of it working. So we'll switch it on here. So we've got a disc in there, and then we come over to the monitor. I still need to clean this up a bit, but yeah, the floppy is being read, and it should boot up. So what I did is I stuck a blank floppy in. I used the MFM 10 megabyte hard disk, which is what I've been using all this time, and I copied files so I could boot from a floppy disk. So there we go, we're on drive letter B, which is the floppy disk drive, and we can do a directory listing. And there we go. So that's it, booted off a floppy drive. Okay, so I've got it all buttoned up here, and the drive is inside, installed there. Luckily, I still had the button here, the little plastic button, which goes in between the drive and in the case here. But I'll give you a demonstration with the drive in the system. So we'll turn it on. And in fact, I'll put the microphone close to the drive. You might be able to hear it. Okay, so I'll turn it on. There we go, so that's it booted up. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show you guys whilst I'm recording this video is something else that's Apricot related. This is actually parts that I've got off eBay. I purchased off eBay for the Apricot Portable, and that's where I got the spare floppy drive from. So these are the parts I got. Now I do have an Apricot Portable, which is up there, and it does need a bit of work. It does work, but it needs the reefer capacitors changing, and of course I need a floppy drive for that machine. But here we have the parts I got. So I pretty much got everything for a complete Apricot Portable, except for the power supply. So whoever was selling this, I guess, maybe they took the power supply out to try and fix it, but never got around to it. But I'm not sure. But everything here, pretty much everything for a complete system except for the power supply. Of course, it's all parts, so it's in unknown working condition, but it's very useful to have. So I've got the casing here, I've got the bottom, got the keyboard, I've got the boards like the, let me see, I believe that's the disk controller board and I/O, like serial and stuff. Yeah. This is, I believe, the main board, and then we've got the screen and bezel there. And yeah, of course, it came with the floppy drive, like I said. So this was a good purchase, I think. But maybe if I can find a spare power supply, or if I feel like it, I might just try and put together this whole portable. Right as it stands, it's pretty much just for parts, just in case I need them for my portable. But if I get around to it, I might put this together using the power supply I've got in my other portable, just to test to see what actually works in all this. And it would be kind of interesting if it just works. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I did want to mention as well that I am actually making my own game, text-based adventure, for the Apricot. It's nothing special, nothing crazy, but it's in the works, and I do plan to release it at some point. Hopefully this year, maybe next year. But yeah, it's just a text-based adventure, similar to Zork and other text-based adventures. But yeah, it's made for the Apricot. It sort of uses, you know, the Apricot sound chip, and it's more designed for the Apricot, but I might, you know, port it to IBM or something like that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I will make a video or a post on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So appreciate you guys watching, and take care.